let's say, for example, at Penn, I was part of the Penn Political Union, super dorky organization. We gathered around.
It doesn't sound good at all, yeah.
We gathered around and we all wore bow ties. And we're like, okay, I'll be the conservative, you'll be the liberal. Let's debate.
You wore bow ties?
Nah, it's fine. We didn't wear bow ties, and we didn't speak in that voice particularly. Some of us did, but some of us didn't.
You used your Indian accent.
Let us debate now. I will be the moderate. You be the libertarian. Okay. Anyway, we would go, and these were the dorkiest kids alive. And certainly I was, central in that group of dorks.
Absolutely.
And do I remember that? Of course I remember that. I remember when we got together with Sandeep and Cheryl and whatever, right? So.
Sandeep and Cheryl. They were great.
And they ended up together.
Yeah.
Because it's Penn, it's Sandeep, and Cheryl Silverstein. Let's get real. Okay.
And now she's Cheryl Dutta.
So we got together. Now, if I found out later that Sandeep had written an article which said, kill the Jews, and meanwhile, the gays, have them have sex with the rhesus monkeys, right? And then they asked about this in my Senate confirmation. I'd be like, do you remember that you were part of the Penn Political Union? I'd be like, of course I remember. What am I, an idiot? Of course I remember. Do I remember I was a virgin in college? Yeah, I remember. It's painful. Okay. And how do you feel about Sandeep writing this stuff, right? I'd be like, I feel disastrous. I feel like if I knew that, I wouldn't have never slept with Sandeep.
Look, it all...
Now Cheryl's like, oh, my God.
Any way you slice it, the best case scenario for Judge Alito as to why he put this on his job application in 1985 is that he's really 100% ignorant of what the organization was, but thought it is powerful alumni, and I'm putting it on this job application, as I mentioned yesterday, to get a job at the Reagan Justice Department, which is filled with powerful Princeton alumni, and I want them to think I'm one of the boys, which will help me get the job.
And somebody said to him, in your job application, make sure you put any kind of associations you were with.
Push the Princeton stuff.
Right, push Princeton very hard.
Fine, but don't lie about it later. I mean, be honest.
Continuing with that, if we're giving him the biggest benefit of the doubt here, he may have just put it there because it was somebody was saying push Princeton. He put it there, and he still might not even remember what it was.
See, but my main problem is, even if you give him all that benefit of the doubt, at this point he should run screaming from the building. I mean, he should say, when Kennedy says, hey, what do you think about this?
His wife ran screaming from the building.
Well, she did, right. He should say, that is simply outrageous, and if I had known Sandeep was doing that, of course, I would have never been involved in that organization. That is atrocious. Instead, we have Alito saying, and maybe he's a different kind of guy, but he says,
confident.
No, I'm reasonably confident that, I probably wouldn't have been into that probably at the time if I remembered whether I was into it or not. Dude, just say, no, that's crazy, but...
Well, the problem is if once you admit, it's not like the Democrats would be satisfied with that answer. If he admitted that he was involved with it, then that raises a whole other issue.
No, but say I didn't know they were doing this crazy stuff. You asked me, I'll tell you right now, that's crazy. That's flat out crazy.
How did you not know they were doing the crazy stuff when this is all there was?
So, Jake, you're saying he's couching his answers because he's terribly afraid
that when they go to the Library
somebody's
going
to go, oh, no, what are you talking about? I went with him to 2 meetings in 1974. When
and he was holding hands with Sandeep.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Well, he has to hope that his name doesn't show up in any of the literature.
Exactly. That's why he's couching all these things. Because if he knew that was, like, how do I know what the hell some guy wrote at the Penn Political Union, right? Why would I couch it? I'd say, yeah, I didn't know he wrote that. That guy's crazy. I don't believe that.
Why would the guy who had all these papers on the Concerned, and I can't get his name, I heard it today, but why the guy who has all these papers for Concerned Alumni of Princeton and has all these maybe unpublished articles from Prospect, why on earth would he give them to the Library of Congress?
No, because you know why? Because they're so self-important.
Yeah, you're right.
They think, oh, this should be noted for the record.
When we said that the gay people should have sex with the rhesus monkeys, that was thinking.
Yes, we are the Concerned Alumni of Princeton, and our records should be in the Library of Congress.
Or it could be somebody like us who thinks, God, can you believe that this was coming out of Princeton? Before it's destroyed, we should put it in the Library of Congress so people can see for the ages that there was all this racism.
That's a good point. You know what? It makes me think. I wonder if we can get something to the Library of Congress. Like we just say, this is our notes from the Young Turks, right. 2005 and 2006. Please.
It'd be cool if somebody checked them out.
Could you just go ahead and put that up on the shelf? Do they take anything? It looks like they take anything.
Yeah, it looks like well, you have to endow it.
Here's what, as we go to break here, here's what drove Judge Alito's wife out of the room. From Senator Lindsey Graham, Republican of South Carolina. Judge Alito, I'm sorry that you've had to go through this. I'm sorry that your family has to sit here and listen to this, said Graham. Moments earlier, the senator had asked Alito, are you really a closet bigot? The nominee said no, and Graham said, no, sir, you're not. And then his wife bolts out. And then later, Orrin Hatch, as Michael mentioned, suggested that the wife was upset with the comments of Democrats, even though she left during Lindsey Graham's questioning. And then he goes, she was upset with the Democrats. She's sick and tired of her mistreatment of her husband, and she had a migraine.
By the only part Ben got wrong in that story is when Graham said, "Are you a closeted bigot?" He answered, "I'm reasonably confident I'm not."
Reasonably confident. There you go. Young Turks.